I think one of the biggest things is really defining who you are, because at a time I thought I knew, and then when I took away rapping, I was like, well, now who are you? You know, because I spent years building up this name, chasing this dream, and to get to a certain point where it's like you almost have to make a decision, do I still want to do this or not? And at that point I said I didn't want to do it, but then I was like, well, who am I without this? Like, so much of my identity is built off of that. And to find out, it's like, nah, you know, success is what you determine it to be, you know, and you could be happy without these things. You know, it's like I kind of went to the Wizard of Oz and found out the Wizard of Oz wasn't real, and now it's like, okay, well, now what? And to find out that there's a whole nother life outside of the one that you thought was going to be it. And turned out, I think I found my purpose because of it. Like, I always thought I was gonna change the world because of the rap music that I was making. And then when I turned around and started doing the mentoring, then it felt like I found what my vocation was, like my calling, which is way different than the thing that you were passionate about. It just, everything came easier. Like, all the doors, I've been on TV more now than I did when I was making music. And I was like, how is that possible? And I felt happier. It was like the thing I was searching for wasn't a record deal. It wasn't $1 million. It wasn't no fancy car. The thing I was searching for was stability. And that's what I kind of preach to the youth now. It's like, yo, be stable. Like, see what your life is like when you're not as frantic trying to have to pay bills or trying to make it work. Like, I used to have my back against the wall, like, yo, this album gotta win. It gotta do something, because otherwise I don't know what I'm gonna do. Nah, you'll be all right. You know, like, life goes on. It's not make or break. The only thing that's going to be make or break is if you let it. So instead, just find out what tomorrow is. You know, push for tomorrow. Like, that's the only thing I keep telling myself. It's like, man, build for tomorrow. You know, if it don't happen today, that's cool. But keep building for the large picture, as opposed to just that moment and your idea of what your future should be. Originally, I kind of felt like I was done with music. Like, I didn't really want to create. I felt like I was like, my journey was cool. I'd have met all my heroes. It's cool. I had a great time. I'm out. I'm good. But one of the things that stood out to me was when my mentee had got killed. That made me want to rap, because here I was, alive and well, and can probably do it better than most people could. And I don't want to do it because I don't want to do it. And here he was, and that's the only thing he wanted to do. And now he's not here to do that. And so that one thing kind of pushed me to get back to creating. And then I was like, well, if you're gonna create, you kind of got to get back to that space of where you were. Like, I always was like the voice of reason in my space of my lane of hip hop. So I wanted to make sure that if I'm gonna do it, I gotta come back through and be the same me. So when I used to make songs like that were social commentary, like, those are the songs that seemed like they registered the most. And I had to get back into that vein and really just like, yo, how you gonna push the creativity? Because now everybody only feels things in extremes. You see, there's something extremely bad or extremely good. And if the extreme bad stuff isn't holding any punches, like, you could log on to social media and see somebody getting their head blown off. It's like, so why would I mince words about the message? Why would I hold anything back about, like, the cause or as far as, like, what's going on in society? It's like, no, you got to address it. You can't halfway do it. And the only way it's going to happen is if you just say it. I feel like there's a lot of people who feel it. There's a lot of rappers who think it, but everybody's scared to do it. I was in the best position because I don't feel like I want the industry no more. Like, I'm okay. You can get rid of me if you want to. I don't want to be in the first place. It's like, now you really got to deal with me, because you don't have a piece on the chessboard that I want. Now I'm just here to talk and say what's right on my heart. Like, so, and you got to deal with it. You don't like me? Cool. You ain't gonna put me into this magazine? Perfectly fine. Trust me, I'm not losing any sleep over it. Like, the work that I'm doing is good enough for me. But what I'm here for is, like, it's the truth. And if we ain't gonna tell the truth, then we might as well stop talking.